Welcome to episode 4 of the Tidy 10 at 10. Yesterday, as you remember, we talked about setting all of your little tidy mind children, setting those inner children in their little cubicles and having them focus on their work for the day. And then we asked them what their target was. And then we started talking a little bit when we left off yesterday about the pep talk or the love talk that we need to give to them. So why is this so important? First of all, it creates, and we're going to get into this a lot deeper as we go, but it creates the quality, depending on the emotional state of those inner children, the quality and the speed at which they manifest. The second most important thing is you get peace of mind. Like when their emotional state is in check, you are managing them, you are giving them what they need, then they are calm, and you get to actually experience the life around you. Now, whether you like that life around you that they've created for you so far or not, we can change that. And that's what we're talking about here today. We're talking about how to change the quality of the life that you're in. If you don't like certain aspects of it, how to change it. So that was where we left off yesterday. So now I want to talk to you about how to do that love talk or that pep talk. Okay? How do we do that? The two biggest challenges that I find with people are either they get possessed by the inner children, meaning they think they are them, and that emotional state the emotions get so, I feel this so strongly, they forget that they're the caretaker and not the child. That is so easy to do, especially at first. When you're first learning about this, you think you are that emotion. You think you are that inner child in whatever category. You think you are them. And when you think you are them, you can't help them. There's no caretaker available because the caretaker is now being possessed by or embodied by that inner child. And it's painful. It's painful when that happens. That's the first challenge that I see. It's just remembering to separate from that moment, from the pain, whatever pain you're in right now, to say, hey, let me step outside of that. That is the inner child feeling all of that. And I'm the caretaker. I'm supposed to help calm them now. I'm here to help them. And then the second thing was, I forgot what the second thing was. How to talk to them. How to talk to them. A lot of people don't know how to talk to their inner children in a loving way. Hey, Deborah, I'm glad you found me again. They don't know how. Well, Angie, I don't know. Like, I separated, I realized that it's the kid, and I realized it's the inner child feeling all these things and thinking all these things, but now that I'm standing here as the caretaker, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to help them. I don't know what to say. And a lot of times, our natural tendency is to go into the old toolbox of our parents and to say, just stop that. Just don't think like that. And we try to shut them down, and then we create resistance. And that's not going to help. So I'm going to give you the step-by-step on how to do this love talk thing. Okay? Now, this goes really deep, and I'm going to try not to go deep into this today. But there's a lot of spiritual meaning in what I'm about to tell you. Okay? And it's almost like you're activating, if you can follow this, and these must be done in order. This love talk must be done in order. And once you're able to master each level, it's almost like you've cracked the God code over here. Like you are now embodying the heart of God instead of the heart of an ego. And remember when I said it's important that we know their emotional state because that determines what they're manifesting and the rate of speed at which they're manifesting? Did I hit my start button? I did. If they are coming from that upset space, what your inner children, they're always creating your life. if they're coming from the upset space, what they're manifesting is a lot of karma, a lot of stuff you don't want to deal with, and the things you do put out there, and maybe you get some affirmations, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to use these affirmations, and you start speaking those out. It's the equivalent of using snail mail versus internet to communicate to source, to God. It's like it will take forever for you saying those things if you skip the levels, if you don't have the inner children calm first, because they're still manifesting in a big way from this lower vibrational state. They're not holding the heart of God. They're holding mostly egoic content. These 5 inner children are your ego. They are the ego. So before I can't help it. I just can't help myself. Like when I have these realizations, I just want to just share it all at once. But I know I must do it in order. So here we go. First thing you're going to do. You've got an upset child. You've got an upset inner child. Okay? First thing you must do is make sure that you're standing in the caretaker shoes. You can't be upset with them and saying, yeah, right, they shouldn't have done this and they shouldn't have done. There's no adult present. Then once you get separate and say, okay, whoa, my inner child, my relationship inner child is upset. Okay? So the first thing you have to do is calm them. Okay? I'm going to go down the list. I'm sorry, my timer is behind me today. You have to calm them. The second thing, you have to meet the need. The third thing, and we're climbing up that vibrational ladder closer and closer to how God is, then we have to ignite them. And then you're just speaking it out. Like it's basically like you're sitting in front of the Amazon. You're just picking out what you want in your life, and you're hitting add to cart and you're hitting purchase. Like that's the type of speed and quality of manifestations that you can accomplish, but you can't do that until you have the child calm, you meet their needs, and then you ignite them, you ignite that spark of God that we've all been given, and then you can take the children shopping. Okay? Then you can say, let's set this life up in the way that we want to set it up. And by that time, you've released a lot of these egoic tendencies and a lot of these karmic patterns and a lot of the way the resentment and the hatred and all those things are cleared out of the system. So you're creating a life from a place of the heart of God instead of the heart of the ego and what the ego thinks that it needs and thinks that it wants. And with great power comes great response. By the time you get to that point and you have great power, you have great responsibility. Like if you're given that type of manifesting power, you can't be here. I'm going to get to that. I'm so glad you asked that question. How do we ignite the spark of God? I'm going to get there. You can't be in this lower egoic state because you're not responsible enough to handle the power that you will be given when you're up here after you've ignited the spark of God. You've done a lot of work by then. Okay? So how do we do that? I got 1 minute. Okay? We're going to start with calm because this is very important. So how do we do that is we have to get the inner children calm first, and we have to keep them calm. As we're driving that car through life and we pass things that they don't like, we have to learn to calm them. We have to learn what to say. And I think I'm going to do a tidy 10 at 10 on each step, okay? And then we have to learn to meet their needs. Meaning, what is it now that I've got you calm and you're not screaming and throwing a tantrum anymore? What are you needing? What are you needing that you're not getting? Talk to me about that. And whatever they're needing, you have to learn to give to them within the resources inside. Because a lot of times they'll go around you. If the caretaker's not there to meet their needs, they'll go around you to find somebody else that'll make them feel how they want to feel. Not good. It's not good. That is not an empowered state to be. That is a codependency. Then you have to ignite the spark of God, which we're going to do a separate tidy 10 at 10 just on that. And then you get the power of just, like, you're just basically going through life speaking it out. Okay? Yes. Okay, so we have a lot to cover, but I just want you to know those are the 4 steps. Please remember those. If you're dealing with an inner child and you're on that love, you need to give them that love conversation, which we all do. We all have to do this all during the day, and I cannot go over, but you have to calm them first before you can do anything else. You have to get them calm, usually by telling them exactly what they want to hear. I gotta go. I will see you again tomorrow. We'll pick up there.